I'm right back with another video. It's like 6:28 a.m. Tuesday, February 13th, and I'm on my way to work. And I was thinking last night after the video that I made, I kind of went off and said some things. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sorry about what I said because what I said was, true. I mean, it would be different if I was, speaking out of impulsive behavior or something, but, I have reasons to feel the way that I do, so, it is the way it is, so there is no apologies on that part, because I can't take responsibility for it. But I was thinking about, when you're a stalker, right, and this is all lighthearted. I mean, I don't mean to, number one, my biggest issue about talking about this whole situation is that it makes me come off like I'm sounding presumptuous or something, and I'm not trying to be that way in any way. Just I'm putting pieces together and trying to figure things out. And this is the conclusion. I mean, it's like this weird crap's been going on for years, and it's like you can't explain it. Unless, of course, you go all the way back from the very beginning. And believe me, I have gone all the way back from the very beginning. And I realize, this bullshit's been going on since I was a kid with my family bothering me and picking at me and stuff. And I'm assuming that perhaps my family's assumptions of me, which were just really off, kind of spread throughout the community that I grew up in. And then, of course, the kids that you go to school with and so on. So, I was always different from my brothers and sisters. And, but I think all of us really had our own distinct personalities. It's just the fact that, I don't know, maybe I was a little way more different than my other siblings. And then the fact that my mom had issues with the pregnancy of me when I was born. So it's not, family scapegoating is just like one of those weird issues. And it's kind of funny how like that kind of poison and cancer can spread, you know what I mean? It's all around the goddamn globe. I mean, shit, right? But, and it's easy because people are wicked and they like to fucking enact shit on people, and it's just crazy. But, anyway, I'm not sure really what all happened, but I will tell you, I had no idea as to it. It took me years to figure things out, to backtrack. And, like I brought up the fact that, when I was younger, I used to, follow Stephen Lyles around, and I was just really flipped out. I mean, I couldn't get by through the day without like thinking about this guy, right? It was crazy, but it was really cool if I could be like in the vicinity of him, like if I could just be like, around him, because I really liked him, and I was so goofy, back then. But anyway, my point is that, when you're younger, you think that these issues are innocent, and they are, okay, they are in a way. But you think about some of the people that it affects. Like, for example, when I was younger, I would call and hang up, because I was too embarrassed to say something to him. And then his poor mom's probably doing housework or whatever. She's stopping what she's doing to answer a phone, that no one's really on the other line. I'm basically wasting this woman's time, okay? All because I'm too cowardice to say something. Which, back in high school, I wasn't necessarily being cowardice, it was just being realistic, okay? I mean, come on, right? Anyway. But, still it affects other people, you know what I mean? Or it either affects them, influences them, and somehow or another, other people are getting involved. And they start putting their own spin on it. People start taking things, doing things based on their own private agendas and using it as an excuse to further your agenda or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you, when I go into some of these places of employment, like to go for job interviews or whatever, some of these people to me are just fucking plain dicks, okay? They're dicks, okay? And they have no problem, being that way. And I'm not in on the joke. I don't know what's going on around me, okay? So basically what these people are doing, they're harassing me. and harassing me for issues that I think for some whatever reason, it's inappropriate. Okay, because I had no idea. If you look at all the videos that I have been doing, okay, I've done like over 600 videos, okay, and I mean, I was trying really hard to put everything together. But okay, I'm getting off track. My point is that you know, by involving other people, it spins out of control. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why, you know, a successful, like, what do you call it, brainstorming group or whatever, it usually thrives more if there's very little members, because, you know, the more members there are, the more you're opening yourself up to exposing yourself. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, top secret type things. You know, you want to make sure that that's in the hands of the right people. Not everybody is able to do that. There's none. We'd like to think that they are, but they're not. And that's when you get all this bullshit. So anyway, I'm not mad at you guys, but I think it's a little odd, you know what I mean, that I'm dealing with all this bizarre stuff, you know. That's what it is. But when you're working alone like I did when I was a teenager, I mean, I pretty much worked alone. I know that Teresa called Steve a few times because I was too cowardice to do it. She was always more willing to push things sometimes more than I was. But I mean, I really did. I mean, I was just crazy about Steve Mullins, and I still am. I mean, just the thought, thinking that he's like around me is just like kind of cool. It's very cool, actually. But still, it took me a long time to figure it out. And if I'm assuming things that aren't true, you know, please forgive me. But you can't blame a person for, like, trying to figure out how the fuck they got into this situation. Especially when, you know, I'm the kind of person who basically stirs up no trouble. I go straight home and come to work and go to work and stuff, come home. Very rare do I go out and do anything that's going to stir my name into a social pot to even be open for discussion. Now, some people will say, well, you know, you told a lie to your husband. Well, you know, that issue right there just goes to show you how racist this fucking country is, okay? And that should be an eye-opener right there. Because if that's the kind of bullshit somebody's going to be holding over you for that many years, and it's almost 20 years at this fucking point, and it's not even a legal crime, then you're dealing with racism, plain and simple. And oftentimes when people have other issues, they try to divert their original issue of hatred and try to throw in this bullshit about religion. They love that. That's how they justify and wear their mask. You know what I mean? You know, it's so predictable because it's been seen throughout history over and over and over again. And it's not just seen it throughout history, like when you're reading about it as like in different accounts. It's everyday shit in your face, you know what I mean? If you really start looking at it and seeing it for what it is, you know? And these people are fucking hypocrites. And that's what I hate, you know what I mean? So initially, behind the scenes of what you guys are manipulating or whatever, puppeteering or however, these people are taking it upon themselves to, you know, use it for their own agenda or whatever, and it's bullshit, you know what I mean? It's fucking bullshit. Anyway, that's the issue. See, now when I was like into, you know, getting up in the morning, sometimes I would. I mean, I had this drive to see Steven, like, all the time. It was just weird, you know, like, and I would look for the opportunity to, you know, to see him. There's a few stories I look back on and I laugh because, you know, they were really awkward for me. There was this one time, I don't know, I'm not going to go into it that this time, okay, but it just has something to do with Avenue I, okay, anyway. So anyway, I'm getting off my thought, but, you know, anyway, I'm basically dealing with assholes is basically what the situation is, you know, and I'm not somebody, oh yeah, I'm trying to pick up from my conversation, I'm not somebody who wants to sit here and draw attention to myself, not like that. And some people, I think maybe you guys are misinterpreting who I am because it's been so many years. Who do you really know? What do you really know about Maria at this particular age? Well, you know, Maria is very leery of people, okay? And Maria has good reason to be because You know, I've learned since high school and before that, you know, people are pieces of shit, okay? And so that's why I try to avoid them like the plague. I will say that, you know, I should be a no-name. Like, if all this explosion was not going on, I really would be a no-name person. Meaning, like, and some people are like, what do you mean no-name? I'm not a celebrity. I'm not trying to say that, okay? Obviously, I'm not a celebrity, okay? Because if I I wouldn't be driving my son's truck and trying to get by, okay? But I'm saying is that people know about me because of the whole Facebook blow-up, which is like, it's not being a celebrity. It's more like being somebody who is part of some sort of underground, secret society, kind of cultish. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's weird. And you know, you start attracting people that become interested in who you are. You know what I mean? And you know, I think it's because I'm an oddity to a lot of people. I'm an odd person because they can't understand or categorize me, and it's a long story. But whatever, you know what I mean? And then that right there is another reason why they start getting pissed off, you know, because they want to harass you because, you know, you're a black woman who speaks well, or you're whatever, blah, 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 fill in the blanks, you know. But I'm not, you know, I'm just trying somebody here who's minding their own business. I didn't know anything about this, and then you guys kind of descend upon me. And, you know, I try to rectify the situation, say, hey, you know, come on over, you know what I mean? Have a hamburger, right? And I would probably force you guys to make it because fuck this shit. I can't grill. I can't. But I will say that fuck, I lost my train of thought. I will say that yeah, that whole weird shit that's been going on for the last few years, it's just been really weird. Okay, really weird, and it traumatizes a person. You know what I mean? It traumatizes a person because you don't know exactly what's going on, you know. And I will tell you, it is a very traumatizing thing, you know, dealing with these irrational people, you know. And so yesterday I was bashing the Christians and stuff like that, and I don't like to bash people that I feel are truly worthy. And it's not for me to really discuss and decide what's worthy of, what's holy or whatever. It's not, okay? That to me is very pompous to say. I would say that, you know, some people are just outright hypocrites, okay? They don't really have a lot of respect for this godly type lifestyle. It's more like they just want to use power and control. Like some people, you know, and it can be considered a ritual abuse, especially when you add the religious element into it. Christians, I don't like calling them Christians, but fake Christians, and there's plenty of them. They use that all the time as an excuse to justify bullshit. And they've been doing it for years. I mean, it's been recorded in history. I mean, wars could start it from this bullshit. And same with these fucking little small conflicts that we have with our neighbors and stuff like this over issues that, you know, they have no right to start that. But, you know, it's almost like you guys have been raised or shaped or molded into that. Whereas I didn't have that sort of, you know, expectation. I didn't have religious expectations when I was growing up. I didn't. You know what I mean? My family sent us to a Baptist church, and we also studied with Jehovah's Witnesses, but I was not locked into anything. You know what I mean? But some families are. They're raised to be, you know, be Catholic or whatever, and so they have these certain ideas, okay? But I wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? So I was pretty open about everything, and so when I had this dealing with this whole, like, what do you call it? Oh shit, what do you call it? Cause stalking, the whole, you know, come to Jesus type people. You know, it bothers me because I can see kind of right through that bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know, it's not for me to judge people, but when you can see that certain people are not living up to certain standards and then trying to act like they are. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, dealing with these people, not just a religious issue of it, it's all of it, okay? It's just the fact that, you know, I'm being picked on about, oh yeah, my hair issue. You know, come on, really? I mean, if, and I hate to sound presumptuous, but if that's the issue, I will tell you about Stephen Lyles, okay? I would always be interested in Stephen Lyles, okay? Always, okay? And you people have their, I don't know what you call it. They have their issues, you know, they have their standards. And some people, it looks like they don't have any standards at all, you know? But I've always liked Stephen. I've always liked Stephen. And I know when I contacted him back then, I wasn't trying to start up anything with him. I was just kind of, I really wanted to be his friend. It's like I'm thinking, after all these years, I think Steve and I should be friends. I made that up in my mind one day. I was like, yeah, we should really be friends. And so I sent him that email back in 2008. And I really don't see what the big offense was about any of that. I mean, hello, it's called getting on with your life. It's called being normal, okay? Especially if you just got on Facebook. And of course, I'm going to think about him, okay? What does Stephen, and I swear to God, you know, I really do think Stephen Lyles is cute. But anyway, but I never heard from any of you guys. And then the communication that I had with Teresa was, to me, a bit puzzling, because it didn't seem like was really you. It was kind of weird. And then maybe, you know, maybe you kind of changed into a more distant person, or maybe it was a part of your social control plan to try to modify my behavior and stop making me so spunky and maybe make me more toned down and boring. Well, I fucked that, because I'm not going to do that at all. I like this person. I like who I am. You know what I mean? I do. You know, I'm not trying to be palatable to certain people that are going to bore the fuck out of me anyway. And that's no offense to you. I mean, I can understand that you probably want, you know, in your life, you probably want, you know, to be more mellow, because you feel like you're, I don't know, in your 40s, and you just want to be like really calm. And, you know, it's about your own, it's about how you perceive how a 40-year-old something person is supposed to be. I think bullshit, because I enjoy life. I like to laugh at things. I like childish stuff, you know. And I'm sure there was probably some sort of conspiracy to get Maria to separate from Hello Kitty. That's never going to happen. You know, I just don't see the point in it. I think there's a difference between somebody who's mentally insane and somebody who, you know, like for some people have lost touch with reality, okay? And Hello Kitty is not just a cute thing. That's their best friend in the world, and they really think that Hello Kitty has feelings, okay? Or they can't make decisions because their mind is not mature enough, or they have, you know, it's those sort of things. There's some people who are young at heart. I'm extremely young at heart, and I refuse to fucking throw that to the wind and say, oh, it's not important. It is fucking important. There's so many people who are my age and older who are fucking miserable. Fuck that. And the reason why they're miserable is because they had some sort of spark in some of them. They were happy, and somebody tried to squash that. Bullshit. You know what I mean? It's the key and the secret to happiness is to be who you are. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? And I like who I am. You know what I mean? Oh well. You know what I mean? I've had to deal with people in my age group a lot. And, you know, they got their kids, and they got their PTA meetings or whatever. And that's great, you know what I mean? But I don't see any point in me being something that I'm not, as long as I'm able to make decisions, and the right decisions. And as for my fake hair, you know, I don't think, that's not who I am. I mean, you know, I like, what do you call it? I like nice clothes. I mean, I do. But I also, you know, I've never been comfortable with fake hair. Never. I mean, it's just something I do at work because my hair doesn't lay down, because it's so choppy. Got all these different sizes to it, and it's very thinned out. It's not very thick. The back of my hair, it's gone through a lot over the years, and so now I do that because it's simple for me. Okay, now some people, and I notice a lot of white people have a completely different idea of things like wigs, weaves, whatever. They don't mind that sort of stuff. Okay, what I mean by that is, when I was growing up, I brought up this story by Annie Lennox, because in my mind, I don't think fake hair is attractive at all. I don't, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's not your hair. It's not your fucking hair. So therefore, it's not something that's attractive. But white people, I obviously must think that that's okay. Because I remember walking home with this kid when I was younger, and he was talking about how he liked Annie Lennox in the wig. Okay, for a lot of people, it's a fucking necessity. Okay, not for some of them. Some of them really are trying to, you know, whatever, vamp it up or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. But some people are just trying to get by. I don't like fake hair being a part of my life to where it's, you know, like I would wear it you know, in casual situations. You know what I mean? Like, I like, when I'm at home, I like being Maria, you know what I mean? But it's about grooming, okay? So like anytime it's associated with my job. If I was to go to a special event, like a cocktail party or something like that, then yeah, I'm going to do that. Why? Because you're going to get the best hairstyle or whatever that you could possibly have with that. Period. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you, my hair is limited to a fluffy little ponytail, and that's it. Because I can't wear my hair down. It doesn't stay down. It doesn't. Okay, and I can demonstrate this to you, whatever. But the fact is, it doesn't. Okay, so I do that. So it's not about that. And so I'm being basically penalized, punished, and discriminated against over what I am assuming to be that issue, and that's wrong. It's racism. You know what I mean? And it's sexual harassment. It is sexual harassment. It is. You know what I mean? Especially when you're being singled out, because there's other women who wear extensions. There's a lot of white women who wear extensions. They may not tell you, but they're wearing them, and then whatever. But it's still it's a private issue. You know what I mean? And it's a personal one. So I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to, and I think that I come off very professional. I'm a very professional person. You know, I communicate professionally, and I believe that I appear to be professional. And you can sit there and bitch about that all you want to, but you know, the fact is that, you know, that's how you're supposed to look. Sorry. And some people say, well, that's not true. You're not supposed to know. You don't have to. Nobody said that you have to, but you're always supposed to look your best. You cannot deny that. And everybody has their definition of what's their best, okay? I don't think that my attire, there's nothing sexy about my attire. I think what you're tripping on is the hair. And the hair, to me, is a necessity. It is not, it's like a, I don't know what you guys fucking think of it, but whatever, you know what I mean? I prefer to be known without the hair. I do. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of stuff I like. I really do like that stuff. You know, I'm a girl. I mean, I like makeup and stuff like that, you know, the normal stuff. But I mean, I'm not saying that I really like wigs or weaves or, you know, what do you call it, and things like that, except for braids. Okay, I do like braids, but I don't, it's not something that I really like. It's something it's something I have to do to get to whatever, to get through, you know, and that's all it is. And then when you penalize somebody for something that they can't help, I can't help my hair, okay, it's wrong. And once again, my rights are being denied, you know what I mean? Or you're assuming that I'm going to be out, you know, running the town or meeting guys. If that was my plan, I would have had one by now. You know what I mean? If I really, really wanted to, I would be out there looking for somebody. If that is it. And like I said, I hate to sound presumptuous, but you know, fuck, I can't help it be that way. Wrapping up this video, I'll be back with another one later. Bye.